Welcome to the Xibo training. Xibo is the YRDSP's official TV display solution, which can be accessed through a web portal to design your own layouts with your own content. To access the Xibo web portal, we are recommending Chrome browser. The web portal address is 172.17.7.42/login. Again, 172.17.7.42/login. Log into your portal by using your own credential, which already provided you. So there you go, welcome screen. So on the web portal, on your left hand side, you have the menu items. You have three major menu items: layouts, media, and displays. The layouts is the place where you can design your own layouts, which can be shown on your TV. The media is the place when you design your own layout. When you upload pictures and videos, those will be saved under the media. Displays is the place where you can see your own Xibo display, where you can assign your layouts. So we are going to go through each of these three menu items one by one. Let's start with the layouts. Right now, I don't have any layouts available here. I can create my own layouts here. Yes, you can have multiple layouts, but you can show only one layout at a time on a TV. So in case if you have only one TV with one Xibo display at your school, even though if you have multiple layouts under your layout screen, you can use only one at a time. But let's say if your school have more than one TV displays with Xibo display, then one TV can show one layout, another TV can display another layout, like that you can have it. Or all TVs can show the same layouts. It's up to you again. So right now I don't have any layouts here. If I want to create my own layouts, on the top right hand corner I have a menu option called add layout. Click the add layout button here. Name, you can give any name, but always put your school code at the beginning. So in my case, I'm going to put Y821. So whatever your school code, just put your school code and then give any name, whatever you like to have as a name. So I'm going to name it as my default layout. Right now we are in the general tab. If you go to the description tab, if you want, you can give some description. Again, this is an optional field. If you want, you can give some description about that layout. If you don't want it, you can leave it blank and hit the save button to save your work. In our layout, we can add our own contents like text, pictures, videos, etc, etc. In the layout, all our content should go under a region. By default, when you create a new layout, the system will put one big region. If you want to make that region into small, like you can move the cursor on the bottom corner or any corner and then click and drag. So that will be resize the region. So whenever I change the region size, I always need to save the region position. So hit the save button to save the region. So now I have one region here for the title. If I want to add more regions, I can go ahead and click add more regions from here. So when I click the add region from the top, the region will be added on the top corner here. So again, I know how to move it, so I can move it from here to there. If I want to add that title here, I just simply move the cursor on top of that region and double click on that region. That will open region timeline box. Here on the left hand corner, I have different type of medias. A library is the one here, this media library. So if you already uploaded anything into our media library, we can use that one from there instead of re-uploading them. Audio, like if you want to upload an audio clip in order to play the audio. Clock is if you want to have a date or time field, then you can use the clock option here. Embedded is the HTML based embedded code. If you feel comfortable, you can go ahead and use it. If you need any help on this embedded thing, you can call the service desk and we should be able to assist you on that one. Flash, it's kind of outdated. We don't use that anymore, flashes. Image is pictures. If you want to add an image, you can click image so you can add it. Local video is a video from your Xibo box hard drive itself. PDF file is the PDF file. Text is a text field. Ticker, that's also HTML related code. Mostly these RSS feeds, those will be go under tickers. Video, you can add a video, and web page, if you want to display a web page, you can use that. So in our case, we are going to add a text. So as soon as I pick the text, it will bring me text editor. I can change the font from here. I can select different font sizes, and here's the font color. I can pick a font color or highlighted color. I can go with the style, bold, italic, underline, etc., etc. Alignment, I'm going to leave it like this. I'm going to pick a font. Okay, I will pick the first font, and the font size I will go and select, say, 24, and I'm going to type welcome to. By the way, by default you can see the background color is black and the font color also black, so we won't see anything even if I type anything. So I will go ahead and pick the color something contrast to black, so I'll pick the yellow color, and the size I will pick 24 font. So now I can start typing. Welcome to Dr. Betty. You can put your school name there. So I can see the font size is still too small, so I can select the text and increase the font size to something like a 48 maybe. Okay, even 48 seems to. So I'll go with the 72 and make it bold, and I will make it a center alignment. So now you can see my text is there. So once that done, I will hit the save button. We can come back and change it if I want it. So I hit the save button to save the work. So once the saved, I'm back here. So then I will close this region timeline window. Okay, so now you can see the text, whatever I entered there, it'll show up here. So I can rearrange it, resize it, the region if I want it to make sure it's fitting within that region. And you have to hit the save button to save it. In case if you did it accidentally, you don't want to save that, you want to go back to the previous position, just click undo. So that will bring it back to the previous place. I can continue on this one, but I'm not going to continue this one because I'm going to show you a different way to do this. So let me go back to layouts menu again. So if I go back to layouts menu, you can see one layout here, which is the one I just created. But again, this is something like I'm going to create from the scratch. To make things a little easier, we already make the layouts for you. So you can use those templates in order to create your own layout. So click add layout on the top right hand corner. On the add layout, give the name. So Y821 dash, I'll put default layout 2. Let's put it that way. Layout 2. And here under the template, if you click the drop down menu, you can see there are two templates are available. One for elementary template and one for the secondary school template. So depend on that your school type. If your school is a elementary, you can pick a elementary template. If your school is a secondary school, you can pick the secondary school template. So I will pick the elementary one here and then hit the save button. So that will create another layout, but this layout is pretty much predefined layout. We need to go back and customize this layout according to your school's requirement. If you see this layout has a green chalkboard background, and on the top, welcome to school name field and date field here. So that will automatically show today's date. Date will automatically change. We don't need to worry about that every day. Also, we have the time also automatically change. And then another title here, today's announcements. and another region here for your daily announcement, and here weather forecast for your area. This is the weather widget, and this is currently showing the Markham area weather, but depend on your school area we can change that. And then another region here we can add school related pictures here. So right now York region district school board logo image there, but you can add more pictures here. And another area here, scrolling text, you can put some other additional text related data here. So that is predefined layout. So if you want to customize this layout, you can simply double click on top of that region. So this is a text field. So if I click edit button here, take me back to this text editor screen again. So here instead of this enter your school name, I'm going to put my school name. So I'm going to say Dr. I just hit the save button to save the work. So it back to my region timeline, and then if I close this, so it's back to my layout design. So here it says welcome to Dr. Petty IT services. And then this is the area where we can put the announcements. If you see here, this is scrolling from bottom to top. The reason why we make it as a scrolling text, because you may have lots of announcement on a certain day. So this area won't be enough to show all your announcements. So that's why we make it as a scrolling text. So it will keep on scrolling, so you can read all the announcement. To make the changes, double click on it. So again, it will tell you this is a text field. So click edit. Again, the text editors. This is where we have to enter our announcement. So I'm going to just put like this announcement 1, announcement 2, because I don't really have any announcement. So I can have multiple lines. Just to show you it's going to go like that. Okay, so I'm put announcement 1, this is announcement 2, announcement 3, sorry, 4, 5. So I have 5 announcements here. You can add multiple announcements, and I just want to show you a couple more things here in this window. This is a scrolling text. Right now we are in the general tab. If you click on the options tab, the option tab, we have a field called effect. Effect is a drop down menu. If you click the drop down menu, you can see multiple effects here. If you don't want to scroll the text, if you want like a fixed text, you can simply select none. This is what's selected for the title and the announcement, all those ones. But if you want to scroll, I have to pick the mark you up. So I pick that effect, and then I can control the speed. If you put 1, that will be slow, 2 is a little faster, 3 would be, so you can increase like that. So I put 2. If you think 2 is too slow, you can come back here and change it to 3. And then field called duration, set a duration. This is a checkbox. If you check this one, you have to give duration should be in seconds. In this case I put 300 seconds. 300 seconds means 5 minutes. So what will happen is this will keep on showing 5 minutes and then go to the next item. But in this case it doesn't really make any difference because we have only one item. I will show you at one point what's the purpose of that. And once we done everything, hit the save button. So that will save the work, and then close button here. And now you can see our announcement is keep on scrolling here. In the same way, you can add more text here. And then here is the weather widget. If you don't feel comfortable on this one, please don't touch it. Just leave it like this. If you have any change request, you can contact service desk. One of our IT staffs will contact you and they will help you with the changes. Okay, so that is the weather widget. And then this area, picture area, if I double click here, I can see this is an image. So right now I have only one image, the YRDSB image. If you want to add additional images on the add media, click add image. So you have to add the picture. Your pictures should be on a JPEG format and a maximum of 200 megs file size. To add a file from your computer, click add files. So when you click on the add files button, it will take your computer. So I have a couple of pictures here. So I'm going to add those 3 pictures. So you can select multiple pictures at the same time and click open. So I have 3 pictures are selected here. So there are 3 columns for the name for the pictures. This field is an optional field. If you didn't give any name for these pictures, by default it will take the file name as a name. But I highly recommend to give a meaningful name. So in this case, I will just give Dr. 01, this one and paste. Dr. Betty 02 and Dr. Betty 03. So now we selected the pictures and we named them properly. Now we need to upload these pictures from your computer to the Xibo server, which is under your media library. To upload these ones, you can do by one by clicking this upload button. But since I have 3, I don't want to do one by one. I can simply click the start upload button on the top. That will do all 3 pictures uploading properly. So right now you see these all 3 files are uploaded. So once we uploaded all these one, click done. And now I can see those 3 files are here. So in addition to the via DSP logo, I have other 3 items here. We have 4 pictures here. So now we need to tell how long we want to show each pictures, because we have only one region. All 4 pictures are going to show on the same region. To do that, click edit and then set duration. By default, the duration is 10 seconds, but you can increase or decrease, up to you. So I'm going to leave it at 10 seconds and hit save. And I'm going to repeat the same process for all other 3 ones. So edit, set duration 10 seconds, save, edit, set duration 10 seconds, save, edit, set duration 10 seconds, save. So now I set the duration for all these pictures as 10 seconds. So how this will work is, when you display this particular layout on your TV, the wire DSP image will show for 10 seconds. After 10 seconds, it will jump to this picture. This will show for 10 seconds. And after 10 seconds, it will jump to the next picture, 10 seconds, jump to the next picture, 10 seconds, and after that it will go back to the first picture again. So it will keep on looping 10 seconds for every 10-second interval. So that's how it works. If you want to change the order, let's say I don't want the YRDSP region logo at the first. I want to show this one as my first image. So I can simply drag and drop it to the first. So now the Dr. Betty 3 will be the first image, then the YRDSP logo, and then another Dr. Betty building and another Dr. So now since I save the order, so click save order button. So that will save my order and all change. So now you can see instead of logo, my first picture will show here. But since this is on the design screen, I won't be able to see all 4 pictures here. So since we make few changes here before we set this one into our TV, we just want to take a preview of this layout and see how it will look like in case if I decided to put this one on my TV. To do that, right now we are in the Designer tab. If you go to the Actions tab, and then there we have a preview layout. So if you click the preview layout button here, that will load a new window with the preview. So this is how exactly it will look like on the TV. So you can see it says the date and time and weather is here. The picture is already switched to the next one, and within 10 seconds you can see it will switch to the next one. So that is how it will look like your layout on your TV. So if you're happy with this one, or if you want to make any changes, we can close the preview window, come back here, go back to the designer window, and we can make more changes. Say for an example, I don't want a picture here, double click it. So let's say I don't want the Dr. Betty one picture. So I click the delete button here. So when you click the delete button, it will give you an option. Are you sure you want to remove this widget? And also it will give you a warn this can be undone. So once you delete it, it's deleted. Also, you have an option delete from the library. So without checking this box, if I delete, this picture will be deleted only from this layout, but this picture will still available in my media library for future usage. So before you delete any pictures, think about that. Okay, do you need this picture for the future? If you need that picture for the future, make sure you uncheck this one and click yes. But if you think this is a seasonal picture, we don't need this picture anymore because next year we will get new pictures. So we are not going to use that one. In that case, you can check this one and then hit yes. So in this case, I'm just to show you, I'm not going to check that one. I'm going to say yes. So now you can see that Dr. Betty one picture is gone from my list. That's how you delete the picture. But now I change my mind. I need that picture again. So what I can do is in this time add media, you can go picture image. So I select image instead of add file because I know that file is in my library. So I can simply click view library. So that will take to my library. In the library, so here you can see the library. We can select the picture. So for an example, in this case, I want the Dr. Betty one. So if I want that picture back, I click the plus sign. So now you see that picture is selected. You can select more stuffs from here if you want. For an example, if I want this picture, you can add more pictures. But again, I don't need that picture. I need only this one picture. So I select the picture and go down and hit the save button. And now you can see that Dr. Betty image is back here. So that is how you work on these pictures. And you don't need to only have the pictures. If you want, you can add a video next to that one. And then after that, you can add a text there. So you can have multiple items. But always remember when you have multiple items here, you have to mention the duration. So then only the system know how long that particular item need to be shown when you play that layout. So if you have only one item, duration is not important. Even if you mention a duration, for an example, if I have only one picture here and put 10 seconds, what will happen is it will show this picture for 10 seconds. And after 10 seconds, it doesn't have anything. It will re-looping it. So it will keep on showing the same picture. So technically, you won't see any different. You will see the same picture continuously. So that's how you work on these multiple items in particular timeline. So now let's say you want to add another region here. If you want to add another region somewhere here, so first we need to make some space here to add another region. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reduce the size of this particular region and hit the save region button. So I have some space here. So I want to add another region here. Click add region. When you add a region, that region will be always added on the top corner here. So but we know how to move that. We will move that to the place where I want and then resize it the size, whatever the size we want it, and then hit the save button to save the work. So now we have an empty region, but if you move the cursor you can see that it says empty region. This is very important. In a layout, you shouldn't keep any empty regions. If you don't need this region, you can delete it, or we need to add some content into this region. If you want to add some content into this region, simply double click on the region. So right now you can see the region timeline is empty. You can add from here with whatever you like to add. Text, if you want to add a text or image or video, whatever, you can do it. But again, I don't want to do that because we already know how to do that. But in this case, I change my mind. I don't need this region. So how do I delete that region? If you move the cursor on the top right hand corner, you see this down arrow. If you click on the down arrow, there's an option called delete. So if I hit the delete button, it will ask for a confirmation. Do you want to really delete? Yes, I want to delete it. Then that region is gone. Again, I can resize this one back to the normal size and hit the save button. That will save my work. And again, if you want to move it, we can drag and drop it. That's how you move the region from one area. And if you want to resize the region by moving the cursor on any edges, and then you see the cursor arrow is changed. Now I can drag and drop. So that's how you change the region size. But remember, after every changes, you have to hit the save button to save your work. And now let's see, we have few other options here. One called lock positions. So what that means is right now the regions are not locked. If I decided my layout is properly done, my regions are properly aligned and properly set, then I can turn it on. So right now the lock position is on. So now I can move these regions from here. So it's locked. That is the purpose of that one. So once your designing part is done, you can lock it so it won't happen accidentally. And the other one is hide control. When you move the cursor on top of the region, you see there's a controls tell you what type of region this is and what is the duration and what is the size, etc., etc. Say for an example, if I have a small region like this, you look at this time region, that is pretty small. I can't even move like a my I will unlock this position for now just to show you. So but I want to move that region, but I can't move really because these controls are hiding that box, so I can't even click on that box. So in that case, if I click hide controls, now controls are hide, I can easily move that from here to there. That is the purpose of that hide controls. These zoom buttons, you can increase the canvas size. Say for an example, this looks small, so I can go ahead increase the canvas size. So now it's very big, and then once if I'm happy with this one, I want to keep this as my canvas size, I can hit the save. So that will save the canvas size. So next time when I open this layout, the size will be like this. And then one other option I want to show you here is the background. See, currently green chalkboard background as our background. To show this one, I want to go to the other layout. Remember, we create another layout without any background. So if I want to switch to the layout, when we have multiple layout, I'm working on this layout, but I want to switch to another layout now. So simply click the drop down here and select the different layout. So now you can see my layout changed. So this is my other layout. So if you see this layout black color background. So if I want to add a background to this layout, click the background button here, and then under the background option here we can pick a solid color background. So when you click on this, will bring a color palette. You can move the colors and move the arrow. So this is the selected color. So you can pick a color from here. So for an example, I will go little light color, something like this kind of color, and then click save, and you see that my background color is changed to that color. I want to put an image as my background. So again, go back to the background, go to the background tab. Instead of background color, background image. So if I click the drop down arrow, I can see all the images in my library. So if I want to put the blackboard background, click the blackboard. So you can see that is selected here. But in case I don't have a proper background image here, but I have one nice background image in my computer. If I want to use that, I can click add a new background image. Again, follow the same procedure, add background, and then select the image from your computer and click upload, and then select that image from there. So in this case, I'm going to keep it as a blackboard and hit the save button. There you go. Now you can see this green chalkboard background is our background. So let's go back to our existing layout. And then let's go back to the action tab. Here, action tab, we have a preview layout, that is preview this layout. Just before adding it to the TV, we can just do a preview and make sure everything looks perfect. Schedule now, we don't use that, so don't use it. Save template, in case if you want to keep this as a template for your future layouts, you can save this as a template. And this area where it will give you some status of this layout. So in this case, you can see it says there are few items layout can be accessed by the client, which is good. We are fine on that. But sometimes it will tell you an error message saying this layout is invalid. If it says like that, that means there's something wrong on this layout. Say, for an example, you may have some corrupted pictures on the layout, or you may have an empty region in the layout. In that case, before you assign this layout for your TV, make sure you go through the layout and make sure you fix it, and it shouldn't say that error message. So again, before you assign the layout to the TV, always confirm here it should be green or yellow. It should be good. If it is a red, it has some problem. We need to fix the problem before we assign the layout to the TV. So that is basically about the layout design part. In case if you have a problem or if you have a questions, if you're not sure how to do certain things, always you can call the service desk, open a ticket. One of the IT staff will be able to help you. So we have two layouts and we need to assign this layout to the TV. So to do that, click on the displays menu here. Under the displays, you can see your TV here. In case if you have more than one display, you will see more than one here. This is our display, and if I want to assign a layout to this display, click on the side drop down arrow here and then select edit. And on the bottom is the default layout. So this is the drop down arrow. If you click the drop down arrow, you can see all your layouts. So in my case, this is the one I worked on, this one. So I picked the layout 2 and hit the save button. So under the status, you can see this cloud with a down arrow. That means now this Android box behind the TV knows about this change. It is downloading our new layout to the box. So it may take like a 5 to 10 minutes in order to the box download the layout and started showing that on the TV. So once you are done this, just be patient, wait for 5 to 10 minutes. After that, you will see that changes on your TV. The login column should be always the checked mark. Instead of check mark, if it is a cross mark, that means your box is offline. For some reason, it's not connected to the internet. So even though if you make any changes, you won't see the changes on your TV because the box is offline. So if you see a X mark, how to fix that? Just try to restart the box. How do we restart the box? You can unplug the power cable and wait for 30 seconds and plug it back, or you can use a remote control for the Android box which came with the box. Press the power button and hold it for a few seconds and you will see a message on the TV, do you want to shut down? Click OK. That will shut down the box. Wait for 30 seconds and then press the power button. That will turn on the box again. So if you have a problem, you can fix it by restarting the box. Even after restarting the box, if it is still offline, call the service desk. One of our IT staffs will help you further. So that is mostly you're going to do here. And then in the media, if you click the media, you can see all the files in your library. In this case, you have 3 pictures uploaded by you and the rest of the images are uploaded by the system admin. If you want to delete the image file from here, click the drop down arrow, select delete. Or if you want to rename it, you can edit it and rename. When you click the delete button, you will get a confirmation. So force delete from any existing layouts, assignment, etc. So if you check it, what will happen is it will delete from the layout and then delete from the library as well. If you didn't check this one, it will delete from the library, but layout still reference to that particular image. So that will cause you a problem because layout will look for that particular picture, but it is deleted. So it will give you an error message. So always, if you're going to delete it from here, always make sure you check that one. But these pictures you won't be able to delete because these are uploaded by the Xibo admins. So that is about the library. And in the library, you have an option called tidy library. If you click the tidy library, it will delete all the images, videos, files, which is not used by any layouts. If the picture is using in any layouts, it won't delete it. But if it is not used by any of the layout, then that will delete everything from your library. So if you want to do a mass cleanup on your library, you can use that tidy library option. So that's about the library menu. And under the layout, few other options you have. In case you want to change the name of your layout, click the drop down arrow here and click edit. And then you can change the name or description or background of that layout. And if you want to design this layout, click the drop down arrow, click design. So that will take you to the design screen again, so you can go ahead and make a changes. Under the layouts again, if you click the drop arrow and if you want to make a copy of this layout, click copy, and now it will ask for a new name for the copy, so you can just say copy. So that will make a copy of the same layout here. So if you want to make a mass change, always better to keep a copy than make a change on the original one. So in case if you screw up something, you can simply get rid of that layout and take another copy from the original one. If you want to delete the layout, you can go ahead and delete the layout from here. Export, you can export into a file. When you upgrade to the newer version, you can always export it from existing version to a newer version and import from the other version. Or if one of your other school like your layout design and they want a copy of your layout, you can simply export it and then send it to them and they can import that layout under their name. You can do a preview from here as well. And schedule now, again, we don't use it. That's an advanced one, so don't use that schedule now option. So these are the some extra features you can use it from here. And then if you want to read more about the Xibo editing techniques, you can go to the manual here. So this is about the Xibo training. Go through it and just play around. If you have any questions or if you're not sure how to do that or if you need extra help, you can always call the service desk, open a ticket, and one of our IT staff member will be happy to assist you further. Again, that's the end of this training and hope you guys enjoyed the training. And all the very best. Thank you.